What in the hell is it? Oh, wait a minute. That car looks familiar. Definitely want to thank Flings for bringing the C7Z06 up to the shop. Thank you, sir. Brandon. Awesome service. Great guys. If you need something towed, look them guys up. Information will be in the description, guys. What is up, YouTube? How's everybody out there doing today? I hope that all of you guys and gals, I know there's a few gals out there too, are having a very, very good day and being well. But I'm sure you guys are probably wondering what this yellow Corvette behind us is doing here. And I do want to make a video about it, explaining what it's doing here, what we're going to be doing with the car, and what the future plans are with the car as well. But I think first, maybe we'll walk over here, and we got all these parts laying around. What's up, buddy?
Hi. I'm, making shit happen over here.
Making shit happen. I don't know if you guys remember, but this is my buddy Grant's car. He ended up getting a full cam package from Texas Speed for us to install. Really quick, 6 to 8 hour job. Nothing crazy. Get it. I figured we'd squeeze it in here between other jobs. Get it done for him real quick while he's on vacation. Kind of get it out the door and stuff. But we actually did a video on this car months ago, maybe a month or two ago. And we compared, horsepower compared, the Air Inductions intake setup to the Acme intake setup that was on this car, straight on the dyno, and picked up, I think, 4 or 5 horsepower on this particular vehicle. Now, I will say, I just noticed one thing about Grant's car, and that's the fact that he wants a cam, but he never got any damn headers for the thing. So it's like, Grant, what are you doing here, man? So I don't know what he's thinking, but now he's gonna have, he has no choice but to get a set of headers for this thing. So usually when you're building a car, the first thing you want to do is you want to do bolt-on stuff. You want to do your Air Inductions intake setup. You want to do headers with a exhaust system, and then maybe do an intake manifold like we have on this one, which is the Atomic MST Air Force. And then after all that's said and done, and it's tuned for those modifications, maybe a clutch if it's a manual, maybe a built automatic if it is an automatic transmission would be the next step after that. But then after that, you can start applying real horsepower like cam jobs and cam and head jobs, nitrous, turbos, superchargers, stuff like that. You have to have the base stuff down first, guys, before you just put a cam into a car that has no way of, basically breathing or exhaling the air that's coming in and out. So we already know, obviously, with the Air Inductions kit on this GTO, he has plenty of air going in, but I think he has like Spintech mufflers on the back, but he still has stock exhaust, stack cats, all that stuff. So that is definitely going to be a huge restriction when it comes to dynoing this car here. And that's going to be a little bit of a problem. So he's going to eventually have to suck it up and get himself a set of, 1 7/8 headers is what I would probably recommend, especially with the cam size. So there you go, guys. First step of modding a car, base mods first, big mods later. All right, guys, as you know, this is Streetspeed717's previous 2017 Corvette Z06. It was wrapped before, but it's not wrapped anymore. I know Mike took a lot of the wrap off, but there is still some remnants of wrap, as you can see down here, which I think the customer was kind of picking apart for a while to kind of get some of it out. But it's still in very nice shape. Still a very beautiful looking car, guys. Wow. Look at that. Still has the paint problem. That's never going to go away. But still a very, very nice car. So the customer got a hold of me, and he explained to me that they had it on a dyno, and it made very, very low horsepower compared to what it was supposed to be making. But I guess they checked spark plugs on it. Number 7 spark plug on this car was completely burnt, completely gone. No porcelain. I showed me a picture of it. There's no porcelain, no strap on the spark plug. It was just not even there anymore. Then at that point, the shop that he had it at, up in Massachusetts, up in Boston area, I guess, put a borescope down the cylinder and thought they might have seen a score in the cylinder wall. And basically, that concerned him a little bit. So basically, the car was transported down to us, and we are going to be pulling the head off of the driver's side. Number 7 cylinder is which one was scored up. We're going to pull the head off the car. We're going to check out the head to make sure that strap and that spark plug, or pieces of that spark plug, did not actually damage anything significant. Now, you guys obviously know this is a Pro-Charged C7 Corvette. We'll show you the Pro Charger here. Pop the hood for you guys. But as you guys can see, it is a Pro-Charged setup. This is a heads cam setup as well, with a full fuel system from Huron Innovations. Since this car is a Pro-Charged vehicle, if there's any type of a score, if we find one, not saying that we will or we won't, but if there's any type of a score inside that cylinder wall, that's going to have to be addressed and fixed because of the amount of boost being pushed through there. Eventually that could, you know, cause issues. It could let boost go by that ringland at that point in the score. It could actually create a hot spot. If there's any damage to the upside of the head, which might not have been able to be seen by the borescope device, that whatever they might have used, there might be damage up there, which will also create hot spots under, you know, high horsepower conditions as well. So we want to check that stuff out. We want to make sure it's good to go, it's safe, and it's going to make good horsepower and not, you know, have any problems later on down the line. Hopefully there's nothing wrong inside the engine. Everything checks out. The cylinder wall is fine. The head's fine. We could slap this thing back together, get it on Keith's Pit Stops dyno, and make this thing have 1,000 wheel horsepower, which would be freaking awesome. I'm sure the customer would be extremely happy to see that as well. Well, let's do the first thing. Let's fire this thing up, see what it sounds like. Here you go, buddy.
Got it. I'm on it.
Did it sound right when you brought it in last night?
I don't know. It was a little...
Didn't sound like it was missing or anything, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'll let you decide that.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll pull the plugs back out, check everything. We'll definitely know what's wrong with it when the head comes off, if there is anything wrong with it. So one of the other big updates that we're going to be doing to this car is it does currently have a dual 450 fuel pump setup in it. One of the upgrades you can do to the dual pump 450 Huron Innovations fuel pumps is you can actually upgrade to their triple pump. That's the beautiful thing about these cars. We currently believe this thing does have enough of fuel to be making enough of horsepower and be able to supply enough of horsepower. But, you know, this thing has 10 a.m. line on supply, 8 a.m. return, which I'm not going to lie to you guys. 10 a.m. supply line on a dual 450 pump setup and 8 a.m. return is no joke. That's a big piece of freaking line. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be upgrading to the triple pump setup on this car, which we know for a fact will not have any problem supporting up to 15, 16, 1700 horsepower, more than likely, on this particular vehicle. So to make 1,000 off the fuel system shouldn't be a problem. The fuel system will definitely be able to handle it. We know that won't be an issue. Hopefully, with the upgraded fuel system setup, we will definitely be able to make that power, which I'm sure we will. So this customer did bring a fuel system up that he purchased from another company, and we won't be using this fuel system. We're actually, like I said before, we are going to just be taking the pump apart, and we're going to be sending the pump out to Four Innovations. Four Innovations is then going to upgrade that pump setup to a triple 450 E85 capacity pump setup instead of the dual that's in there. And one of the reasons I want to explain one of the reasons why we don't use inline pumps here is because in my personal opinion, I think it's kind of a band-aid for the most part, especially if you're drawing off of a stock fuel pump for the car. If you have a 250 stock pump in this car and you're adding a high performance Holley pump, which these are very, very good pumps, don't get me wrong, these things will do the job. It's just putting more wear and tear and strain on that stock fuel pump, because as this thing is trying to suck fuel out, that 250 pump might not be able to keep up with it possibly at one point or another, and that could be a problem with high horsepower stuff. That's why we chose to go with a dual in-tank pump in the beginning of this build when we did it in the very first place, because we knew eventually if we needed to upgrade to a triple pump setup, it's just a matter of dropping the rear out, dropping the gas tank out, putting the triple pump setup in, putting it all back together, and we know we're good for 1600 horsepower with no problem. Holley does make some really, really nice stuff though. I mean, this is a nice pump, very, very nice filter setup, which is cool. Very nice regulator. I mean, very nice stuff. There's a whole bunch of fittings down here. I'm not really sure where the fittings go or what the purpose of those are, but very nice stuff. It's just in my opinion, like I said, we rather grab from the tank and suck from the tank as opposed to putting an inline pump in to kind of help the 250 along, when we know eventually the 250 is just going to wear out, and then you're just relying on your inline pump if the 250 ends up failing for whatever reason. So there you go, guys. That's what we're going to be doing to this thing. Should be a pretty awesome time. Should be pretty cool. Hope you guys are anxious to see what we can accomplish with this car again. It's gonna be pretty awesome, guys. It's gonna be pretty awesome. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Instagram, Diablo Formula Racing. Facebook is also Diablo Formula Racing. Deuces, guys.